working with totality, it's all about connecting to your higher self. So the higher self is the true expression of who you are. Okay, and then it uses different aspects of your identity to communicate, to interact with the world. So your higher self is the grace of God. Your higher self is Satnam. Your higher self is that real deep embodiment of your knowing, often to the point where it's not just an idea, it's not just intuition, it's not just something that's come in, but it's an embodiment experience of this is how it is for me. Your higher self is that whisper, while the ego is yelling, so we can hear the ego a lot more clearly than the higher self. The higher self is that real warm embrace. Had an experience, don't share this very often, had an experience when I was 13 or 14 actually, so you know that 14 is an extremely pivotal time for everyone's development. It's like a crucial year.
I hated being 14.
Yeah, it's intense.
I hated it.
Yeah, it's for, the Steiner School recognises it as the biggest year at school, and they take the kids away on camp nearly every 3 weeks to help with the development of their identity. Like, it's an incredibly challenging year being 14. It's your consciousness is set on the second realm, you're just trying to work out, yeah, it's just full on. And I had, because of my scoliosis, I actually had really intense painkillers, which I wasn't allowed to use because of what they did to me. And one day, for absolutely no awareness at all, I don't know what, I wasn't depressed. In hindsight now, it was probably because I had suppressed something that happened to me, and that was probably surfacing, and it might have been in a response to that, but there was no consciousness. I went and grabbed the whole bottle of these painkillers, put them in my hand, and I was about to put them in my mouth, and my higher self kicked in, and it felt like this warm, because I was Catholic then, it felt like this warm embrace of Jesus woke me up and said, what are you doing? It's not needed. And it was like, so for me, that's how I know my higher self. It was this beautiful angel wings wrapping around me, reassuring me, it doesn't matter what happens, this will always direct me, this will always guide me. And understanding what the higher self is. All this other stuff always happens to you and your expression, but the higher self is the one inside of you, keeping you safe, keeping you connected, keeping you in tune to who your truth is. A really important thing about the higher self when you're working with totality is that you can't always express your higher self in every situation. And it was shared in a blog a while back, and I gave the example, can you imagine you're a CEO at a company and you're sitting there and going, you know, my insight and my intuition is telling me for the next 5 years we're going to do this, and my gut feeling and all these sensations are confirming that. You wouldn't be a CEO. The decisions may be made because of your feelings, but that's when you use your persona and you put your manager's hat on and you have all your, you know, projections and all your data and all your statistics to support what it is that you know. And that's the role of the persona. And the shadow is just the same, because in some situations when we are unsafe or something injustice happening, we don't have that moment opportunity to drop into our neutral self and respond from our higher self. We just need the shadow to kick in and go "Rah!" to get us out of it, to get us safe. But it's still a higher self. It's just using a representation of our personas to express us. Really important when you're working with this journey of totality, because when you're working with totality, you really need to have the acceptance that of all of you. Your higher self may be this place of peaceful calm have this reassurance all the time. But you're not going to be able to communicate on that level all the time. And the shadow is chosen by the higher self to express. That's still your divinity. And that's a really beautiful way to work with totality. To really get to know what your higher self feels like. You know, that scary experience when I was a teenager at that pivotal time allowed me to solidify at a really young age what my higher self felt like. You know, like I had always really strong intuition. I had really, really, really strong connections all through my life, but I never had any guide. I never had anyone directing that, because it's not what you do in a middle class white Australian family. You know, you talk about football, you don't talk about your animal guides. It's just that simple. So that experience allowed all this confusion that I had about what was happening inside to solidify and go, oh, this is what Jesus is. This is the energy, the archetype. This is the self-compassion. This is the love. This is the reassurance. This is the nourishing and the nurturing of the self, so that I can share that with the world. How does my higher self represent? What energy does it hold for me? Placing your hands on your knees, palms facing up, closing your eyes, and just go deeper and deeper within. Keep riding on the breath, keep traveling through the sensations of the body until you can come to that place of stability, to that place of consistency, to that place within that is like the warm, sacred hug, cocooning you in reassurance and light. And once you have found that space, even if it's just for a moment, or once you have located that space, bring your hands together and rub them. And press the palms firmly together and the thumbs in at the heart, assisting with dropping even deeper into the place of the higher self. Inhale and suspend the breath while the intention is set. May the stillness of my heart whisper the truth of who I am, creating the embrace of internal love, guidance, and support, which is represented through my higher self. May this happen more than ever before for the benefit